Hello, Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, Cadence, Lucy, Orion, and anyone else who's listening. Welcome to Story Time. Today, we'll be reading a story from the Disney Nursery Rhymes and Fairy Tales. And the story is Walt Disney's The Golden Goose. So, let's begin. Once upon a time, a woodcutter had a son who was considered a little goofy. He was even given the nickname Goofy. But as you shall see, Goofy had a kind heart, and he became happier and richer than the woodcutter and all his other sons put together. Oh, look at Goofy putting that little bird back up to the nest. One day, out in the woods, Goofy met a little old man. "Will you share your lunch with me?" asked the little old man. "Why, I'd be happy to," said Goofy. "You are kinder than your brothers," said the little old man. "When I asked them, they refused to share. Look under that bush, and you will find your reward." Oh, he's so kind. He's sharing his lunch. So what do you think his reward's going to be? Under the bush, Goofy found a goose that had feathers of the purest gold. Wow. Goofy took hold of the goose's leash and set off to see the world. Soon he came to an inn and sat down for a meal. Now, the innkeeper, Scrooge McDuck, took an instant liking to the golden goose. He longed to touch its golden feathers. Would you want to touch its golden feathers? As soon as Goofy's back was turned, Scrooge reached out and touched the goose, but his hand stuck to the goose's feathers and he couldn't get away. Angrily, he called his 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, for help. Huey tried to pull Scrooge away, but he stuck to Scrooge. Dewey tried to pull Huey away, but he stuck to Huey. And then Louie stuck to Dewey. Oh my goodness. So Goofy went on his merry way with the golden goose and his friends trailing behind them. Look at that, going over that bridge. Then along came Minnie Mouse. "Oh, a new game!" she cried, and took hold of Louie, and then she was stuck. So Goofy took her along as well. So off they go over the bridge and down the road. When they came to the village, they met Ludwig von Drake. "This is a ridiculous sight," he cried. "Why are you stuck together? I think I know how to solve this silly situation." But no sooner had he grabbed hold of Minnie than he too was stuck, and yell and screech as he might, it did no good. Ludwig was still stuck. Oh goodness, look at that long line of people following Goofy and the Golden Goose. And so Goofy went on his way, followed by Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Minnie Mouse, and Ludwig von Drake. Now, it so happened that the road led past a castle where there lived a sad princess who didn't know how to smile. Her father, the king, had tried everything to make her smile, but the poor princess just got sadder. Oh, look how sad she is sitting on her throne. And look, she's even got a sad doll. But here come Goofy, Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Minnie Mouse, and Ludwig von Drake. What do you think she's going to do when she sees them? Just as Goofy and his friends were passing by the castle, the princess looked out her window and saw the strange sight. She stared in amazement. Then a most peculiar thing happened. Her mouth turned up at the corners. Her eyes began to twinkle. And soon she was laughing so hard she could hardly stop. When the king saw what had happened, he invited Goofy and the others into the palace for tea and cakes. The king told Goofy he could have any reward he wanted. Oh my goodness, so the princess finally laughed. What do you think Goofy's going to ask for? Goofy said he would like to have all his friends freed from the Golden Goose. Since kings can do anything, especially in a fairy tale, this was no problem. Then Goofy asked to be invited to the palace every Sunday for tea. He liked making the little princess laugh. And that is how Goofy, with his golden goose, became very rich and happy, in spite of being a little goofy. The end. So Goofy became rich and happy because he was kind and shared. So what do you think of that? I hope you like that story. And I hope you always are sharing and are kind and generous no matter what. I hope you're taking good care of yourselves and you're looking after each other, loving on each other, and always loving yourself just the way you are and figuring out how to be the kindest you can be. Never forget, I love each one of you to the moon and back. And we'll be back together for another story tomorrow for story time. Bye-bye.